Our next guest has toured comedy clubs for, what, about 2 decades? 2 decades plus.
Years.
22 years. Right now, he's on tour.
It's called the Corn Belt Comedy Tour. The first of 5 shows is tonight at the Funny Bone.
We haven't seen you for about a year, Gary. Gary Menke's on the show this morning.
Been busy.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I hear you're back in the area.
Back in the area. I moved to Davenport, Iowa. I moved from Florida. I miss Florida, but you know, I had my first garden this year. You know,
right?
Yeah, I know. In Davenport.
Davenport.
Man, I didn't know it's a competition, you know. Neighbors are peeking over. How's your tomatoes? I'm like, get out of here. I'm growing them myself.
That is a common question. You do hear that a lot. How your tomatoes looking this year, right?
But there are competitions, so if you're
Yeah,
really good at
I
it,
know.
you know, we've got the pumpkin competitions going down right
I'm
now.
over the pumpkin. I'm not drinking pumpkin
Oh,
beer.
you're not
I'm
into
not
it.
pumpkin cheesecake. Leave the poor pumpkin alone. Just cut it up and put a candle in it.
You are, we said, the Corn Belt Comedy Tour, and I'm looking now at some of the names that are involved. How did this whole thing come about, Gary?
Well, you know what? I had no work this week.
Okay.
So
I just thought drum up some business.
I just thought I'd go down I-80 and stop at Honky Tonks and the Bosset and the Funny Bone. And my son's autistic, and a few times a year I try to give back to do a few shows for the Autism Center in Nebraska.
So this is a fundraiser. How's it work?
Well, this is how it works. I have a T-shirt, and it's got a big autistic puzzle on it, and it says, "My autistic child ignored your honor student." And I get proceeds from that, and then we got the bracelets and all that stuff, and donations, and then the rest just covers expenses, planes, and all that stuff.
ACN's got to be happy to have not just the money, but the awareness.
Oh, yeah, they're great people. And they are. Amy, call me back if you're watching.
Hi, Amy, whoever Amy is, not giving you a call.
She's the head over there.
Who else do you have? So,
okay, in Omaha, we have Richard Reese.
Yes.
Local guy. He's at Barnes & Noble right now. And housewife.
That's his real job.
Yeah. And Housewife of the Year, Heather Jones, and Brad Stewart, formerly in LA, lives here in Lincoln, and then myself, and then the rest of the tour. Kenny Smith will be flying in from LA, and he has a son with autism too.
Oh,
the Corn Belt
Lincoln,
Comedy.
Grand Island.
It's all over kind of Nebraska.
It's all over. It's Omaha tonight.
GI.
And then it goes to Lincoln, and then we're in GI, Hastings, and wind up at the World Theater in Kearney, Nebraska.
Your hometown,
My hometown,
if I recall.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's spend a minute on your roots. How did you end up into comedy from Kearney?
Because I can't keep a job. And that's what I do. You know, my parents are always really funny, and I worked at Channel 13 when I was a kid, you know, cameraman stuff. Kind of always been in that, and really just kind of fell into it, you know. I had 2 roommates who were comics when I was in college, and I'd write jokes for them and go watch them tell my jokes. And then after a while, each of them had like 15 minutes. I go, I should be doing this.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You work a half hour a night?
Right. How much are you touring though when you're not
40
doing
weeks
that?
a year.
Are you doing that much?
My son does comedy. His birthday's coming up. He's 16, and he toured with me all summer. He opened up for Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, Rob Schneider, Pauly Shore.
Wow.
Made $2,000.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't tell him, he doesn't know. I pay him in pudding pops. He seems to like that a lot.
Gary.
But he's doing great. You can check him out.
Awesome.
Ha Ha for Autism on YouTube.
You know, that's a
That's
great
his
point.
little sets.
Because Mike and I do some work with the Autism Society in Nebraska, and you talk to a lot of parents, and one of the hardest things is for their sons and daughters to get up on, you know what I mean, like to find themselves, to find their voice.
Ironically, if he was here right now, he would have a tough time talking to us.
Yeah.
But give him Foreign Strangers, SpongeBob, and all the stuff comes out. You know, and
So he's comfortable up on stage.
oh, he loves it.
That's
I'm
so
not
cool.
pushing him that way. He can do whatever he wants.
Right,
Yeah,
but
no,
as a
sure.
parent, you've got to be so, because
You know
you're growing, as he's growing up, you don't know where that path leads. and you've
I
got to
get
be so
emails and
proud.
stuff like from people like, oh, you give us hope, or you know, he's so brave, or whatever like that. Because autistic kids are not special needs; they operate at ultra high level, and other stuff. You're like, hey, that's fire.
Right.
Leave it alone.
But highly intelligent.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Smart kids.
Oh man.
Tonight to get tickets. Tickets still available?
Tickets still available. Showtime's at 7:30. Come on out, and Corn Belt Comedy Tour starts in Omaha, ends in Kearney. So drive down I-80. You got all week.
Right,
Well,
hit them all, huh?
A lot of our viewers live closer to Lincoln than they do to Omaha,
Yeah.
so I'll say this, Brewski's at Haymarket,
The Haymarket
tomorrow
location,
night in Lincoln, if
Yeah.
you'd rather see that show. But of course, Funny Bone, where it's at, and we're glad to have you here today, Gary.
Thanks a
Thanks
lot
for
for
coming
having me
back.
Good to see you. Are you? How are the Hawkeyes doing? You guys are doing pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Are you a Hawkeyes fan?
No,
Or are you
I'm a
Nebraska?
Husker fan. I'm a
Okay.
Husker fan.
Yeah.
And if we could take back 2 minutes and 1 second, we'd be undefeated.
Oh man, about 4
Ooh.
plays. That's all we need back.
It's,
It's been a rough season, Gary.
It's rough.
Thank you.
I hope we don't get used to it.
We appreciate
No,
you
we
coming.
won't. We won't, Gary. Thanks. Good
Thanks
to see you,
for
buddy.
having me.
All right.